Welcome back to XTechie. Welcome to the series of videos on building a business intelligence tool using Angular, Node.js, and Java REST API. In this series, we will take you through the step-by-step process of creating a powerful tool that will empower businesses with data-driven insights. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any episode. Let's get started. Packages used in the application are Express.js, Body Parser, Jusso Web Token and .un. In this episode, we will cover the process of user registration, login, and token validation based on their email address. We will also check if the provided email is already registered. Let's play with the code. Let's navigate to SOAP UI and locate the endpoint, ensuring that the sign-up is present. The payload for this request should include the following fields: first name, last name, email, and password. We will execute it in debug mode, verifying that the request reaches the appropriate sign-up router and examining the correctness of the provided values. Afterward, we can proceed to the authentication controller's sign-up method for further verification and testing. The next steps involve the execution of the generate_salt and generate_hash functions. These functions lightly handle the encryption and hashing of sensitive information such as passwords. Following that, the request is directed to the data controller, where it triggers the execution of a stored procedure named sp_users. To ensure that the data is properly stored, we can check the Postgres database to see if the changes are reflected. By examining the relevant tables, we can verify if the sign-up process successfully saved the user information in the database. To test the login functionality, let's open SOAP UI and verify that we have the correct endpoint configured for the login API. We will start by attempting to log in with an invalid password. When making the login request, it will hit the login router, where it will ensure that the provided email and password are correct. Then, the system will retrieve the corresponding user data from the database and extract the salt associated with the user's stored password. The password from the login request payload will be hashed using the retrieved salt. Finally, the generated hash will be compared to the stored hashed password in the database. Since we are intentionally providing an incorrect password, the generated hash will not match the stored hashed password in the database. To test the login functionality with a valid password, we need to update the password in the payload and then click on the Run button in SOAP UI. After executing the request, we should verify that the updated password value is reflected correctly in the payload. Next, the system will fetch the corresponding user data from the database and retrieve the salt associated with the user's stored password. The password from the login request payload will be hashed using the retrieved salt. Subsequently, the generated hash will be compared to the stored hashed password in the database. Since we have provided the correct password, the generated hash should match the stored hashed password. Once the password comparison is successful, the system will generate a Jusso Web Token (JWT) and send it to the client. This JWT can be used by the client for subsequent authenticated requests to the server. To validate the JWT token using SOAP UI, locate the URL path for the validation endpoint and make sure it is correct. In the request header, add a new header named authorization with the value set as the generated JWT token. Click on the Execute button to send the request and validate the JWT token. The server will process the request and check the validity of the provided JWT token. It will verify the token's signature, expiration, and other claims to determine if the token is valid. Tamper JWT token in SOAP UI and click on Execute button. The response from the server will indicate the JWT token is not valid. Thank you for watching episode 1 of this series. If you have any more questions or need further assistance in the future, feel free to ask. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button to stay updated with the latest content. Have a great day.